Trade wars, shifting alliances, and clever maneuvers. These are the forces shaping global trade today. One of the most intriguing shifts is happening along the US-Mexico border, where trucks roll through daily, carrying billions of dollars worth of goods. But did you know this bustling trade route isn't just about US and Mexican companies? China has found a way to weave itself into this equation using Mexico to bypass US tariffs. So how is Mexico outpacing China as the top exporter to the US? And why are Chinese companies strategically moving into Mexico? Let's break it down piece by piece. For the first time in over 2 decades, Mexico has become the United States' largest supplier of imported goods, surpassing China. In 2023, the US imported $475 billion worth of goods from Mexico, $20 billion more than in 2022. Meanwhile, imports from China dropped significantly, falling by $110 to $427 million. This isn't just a matter of coincidence or organic growth. The strategic factors, including trade tensions and supply chain shifts, are fueling Mexico's rise. Before we dive deeper, if this story already has you hooked, take a second to like this video and share it with others who love dissecting global economic shifts.
I spoke with Canada, and Justin came flying right in because we talked about 25% tariffs. That's just a beginner. The new president of Mexico, very nice woman. And we had a very nice conversation, but she said, "Why are you doing this to me?" I said, "I'm not. I'm just putting a lot of tariffs on because you're allowing criminals to pour into our country, and we can't allow that anymore." And it stopped. It stopped.
Several interconnected forces are at play here. Ever since the Trump administration imposed tariffs on Chinese goods, businesses have been looking for ways to minimize costs. Ongoing trade tensions and sanctions have only amplified this trend. After the pandemic exposed vulnerabilities in global supply chains, many US companies began relocating their production closer to home. Mexico, with its skilled workforce, competitive costs, and proximity, is the obvious choice. Here is where it gets fascinating. Chinese companies have found a loophole by setting up operations in Mexico. By assembling or transforming their products there, they can classify them as made in Mexico and gain tariff-free access to the US under the United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement. Chinese companies are making their presence felt in Mexico like never before. Automotive giants like BYD and Chery are building factories and shipping products across the border. This isn't just a tactical move, it's a survival strategy. For these companies, it's not just about relocating assembly lines. To qualify for tariff exemptions under USMCA, goods must undergo significant economic transformation. For example, wooden boards turned into discs or raw textiles turned into clothing count as Mexican products. This strategy allows Chinese firms to sidestep tariffs while maintaining their competitive edge in the lucrative US market. With the surge in trade, the US-Mexico border has become a hive of activity. Over 650,000 cargo trucks crossed the Zaragoza Bridge in El Paso alone last year, transporting goods ranging from automobile parts to electronics. Logistics companies like Maersk and DHL are investing heavily in broader infrastructure to streamline this massive flow of goods. Warehouses are being built, advanced logistics systems implemented, and land secured to handle the growing demand. Meanwhile, US Customs and Border Protection is working tirelessly to inspect shipments. Every cargo truck is screened to ensure it complies with trade agreements, doesn't carry contraband, and adheres to country of origin regulations. But even with these efforts, challenges like bottlenecks, delays, and security threats persist. Do you see this shift as a smart move for global trade, or does it raise concerns about over-reliance on Mexico? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear your take on this fascinating development. Mexico's manufacturing story has undergone a dramatic transformation. Once known for simple exports like textiles and beverages, the country now produces advanced goods such as airplane engines, cars, and electrical machinery. Today, manufacturing accounts for about 40% of Mexico's economy, with the US as its primary customer. This evolution didn't happen overnight. Decades of investment, trade agreements like NAFTA, and a growing skilled workforce have turned Mexico into a global manufacturing powerhouse. While the US-Mexico trade relationship is booming, it's not without its challenges. Mexican highways are notorious for hijacking and violence, creating a logistical nightmare for companies. The trucking industry in Mexico faces a critical shortage of drivers, with the problem expected to worsen as trade volumes grow. Congestion and inefficiencies at the border can lead to significant delays, disrupting supply chains. Political instability and changing economic policies in Mexico could impact long-term planning for businesses. Despite these challenges, the future of US-Mexico trade looks incredibly promising. Automotive giants like Tesla and General Motors are making massive investments in Mexico, banking on its strategic location and cost advantages. Infrastructure projects like the new railroad bridge connecting Laredo, Texas to Mexico are further enhancing connectivity. As these developments take shape, Mexico's role as a critical trade partner will only grow stronger. The rise of Mexico as a top US trade partner signals more than just shifting numbers. It reflects a deeper reorganization of global trade priorities. Nearshoring, tariff avoidance, and infrastructure investments are reshaping the economic landscape. As companies adapt to these changes, the North American economy is becoming more integrated than ever, paving the way for a decade of robust trade and collaboration. If you enjoyed this deep dive into global trade, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on fascinating stories like this one. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.